There is one thing I like about every US president, from George Washington to Joe Biden. Number 3. Let's begin. George Washington led the American Revolution. John Adams signed the Slave Trade Act of 1800 that limited the US involvement in the slave trade, as the Constitution disallowed the complete forbidding of the slave trade before 1808. Thomas Jefferson was the first president to take the oath in Washington, D.C. James Madison more than tripled the defense budget and nearly doubled the army. James Monroe was president during the era of good feelings. John Quincy Adams advocated for the release of the slaves in the Amistad case. Andrew Jackson refused to shine a British officer's boot when he was captured at 13 years old, which is where he got a scar on his face when the officer used his sword on him. Martin Van Buren believed that, quote-unquote, the less government interferes with private pursuits, the better. William Henry Harrison created the longest inaugural address at 1 hour 45 minutes, totaling 8,445 words. John Tyler believed in a strict interpretation of the Constitution. James Polk was the first president to have hail to the chief play when he entered rooms, thanks to his wife. Zachary Taylor said he would hang anyone who would try to separate the Union. Millard Fillmore began his political career by demonstrating his anti-Masonic values. Franklin Pierce was the only president to affirm his oath rather than swear. James Buchanan wanted to buy Cuba from Spain. Abraham Lincoln led the Union during the Civil War. Andrew Johnson fought against Confederate influences when he was military governor of Tennessee. Ulysses Grant was the commanding general during the Civil War. Rutherford Hayes made Civil War veterans get their pensions faster than originally planned. James Garfield talked about civil rights for blacks being the most important political step since the adoption of the Constitution in his inaugural address. Chester Arthur made federal government jobs be awarded based on merit rather than other means. Grover Cleveland sent out an anti-communist message in his 1888 State of the Union address. Benjamin Harrison creates the only grandfather-grandson presidential duel with his grandfather, President William Harrison. William McKinley signed the Newlands Resolution, which annexed Hawaii to the United States. Theodore Roosevelt helped Panama declare independence so he could have the Panama Canal. William Taft initiated 90 antitrust suits during his presidency. Woodrow Wilson showed the world who's boss in World War I. Warren Harding was a believer in America First policies. Calvin Coolidge is the only president to be born on the 4th of July. Herbert Hoover opposed direct federal relief during the Great Depression. Franklin Roosevelt approved the Manhattan Project. Harry Truman was a captain in World War I. Dwight Eisenhower was the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe. John Kennedy was against abortion before it became a huge political issue. Lyndon Johnson drafted the Senate bill of the National Aeronautics and Space Act. Richard Nixon got prescription drugs to use child-resistant packaging. Gerald Ford drafted the House bill of the National Aeronautics and Space Act. Jimmy Carter signed the Pregnancy Discrimination Act. Ronald Reagan lowered tax rates from 70% to 28%. George H.W. Bush won the Persian Gulf War in less than a year. Bill Clinton allowed people to take 12 weeks of unpaid vacation through the Family Medical Leave Act. George W. Bush fought against terrorism by escalating the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. Barack Obama wanted a human to land on Mars by the 2030s. Donald Trump created the Forever GI Bill. And finally, Joe Biden finally got his butt wiped.